MrBeast is the guy when you think about YouTube. No one even comes close to the view counts he gets on his channel. Some people have been critical of MrBeast and the type of content that he makes, claiming that this content is made solely for the purpose of beating the YouTube algorithm and not for people's enjoyment. So there's two big problems I want to talk about. Is his influence on YouTube a bad thing? And are these insane money giveaways sending the wrong message to children? Before MrBeast, the main type of content that got the mainstream attention was usually vloggers, people making videos about their life. The way to get more views was to have a crazier personality than everyone else, or to be louder than everyone else. The issue with content like this is no one person can entertain millions and millions of people consistently. Ordinary life just isn't that interesting. So MrBeast came along and focused solely on making videos that were all about the idea. People who were trying to make their life a spectacle eventually burned out and realized this wasn't a sustainable way to work or live. This one guy is making so much more money and seeing so much more fame than everyone else, and he's working equally as hard as the people that used to be the number one. So naturally you're going to see people replicate these ideas if it means less work for more money. This isn't new to YouTube since MrBeast started. The idea that people's content has just turned into soulless content aimed entirely for views is not new to MrBeast. When Casey Neistat or David Dobrik were at their peaks, there were people that were trying to copy them too. The Paul brothers weren't making videos that were well told stories and great films. They were making videos that would get them views. I don't want to be ragging on the Paul brothers, but I think it's fair to say. So why is it an issue now? I think because YouTube is just so big and so much money goes into it that there are more people making knockoffs of the top people than before. I don't think that YouTube is getting worse because the MrBeast style is so widely used, because they're not videos I usually watch. YouTube is very good at recommending you content that you would like to watch. I have watched these videos before because I searched them up to see if I could learn anything from these people, because they just have so many more subscribers than me. Then they appear in my feed for a day or so, and then eventually just disappear because I don't click on these videos. That's why I don't think there's a huge issue, because I watch at least 2 hours a day of YouTube and I never watch these channels. People clearly love these videos. So many people adore MrBeast videos. My young cousins ask me if I'm friends with MrBeast because I have a YouTube channel. They just love his videos. This content is clearly aimed at this younger audience, and I'm not saying this to be dismissive of the content. If the viewers enjoy the content, the creator is happy to make this type of content, and the only people who dislike or complain about this content are the people who watch it regardless of whether they're the target audience or not. And also, not everything posted to YouTube has to be the Godfather level of story and cinematography. Sometimes people just want to sit down, relax, and turn off their brains and watch MrBeast fly a car into a bus or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with this either. These people who copy MrBeast aren't always malicious. It's easy to see Jimmy getting so many views and making so much money that for people who are starting out, it makes sense to try and replicate what he's doing with the hope of eventually finding a format that works for them and is unique. I think people are right to call out people that are just wholesale copying someone else, because you don't want these people to think it's okay to steal work from others. But I think some people are actually just trying to learn, and they're just doing things that they see working really well on YouTube. Jimmy will go on podcasts and talk about how much he spends, the time he spends working, and how he never spends any of his money on luxury purchases, which is all fine. The issue people have with this is that it creates a culture where everyone feels the need to replicate this. You can't blame him for this. And I would also argue that this is a better way to do things than before, where you had these vloggers who would post videos so frequently, and then the videos would be entirely on the back of the person making them. They would do all the editing, all the ideas, all the filming. This has to be a worse message to send to people, that in order to get good content, you have to do all the work yourself. I think most people would agree that this is unsustainable and unhealthy. Whereas now MrBeast hires over 60 people to help him with these videos in every aspect of the process, which makes way more sense because now you can have a long-term sustainable career on YouTube. The second problem with MrBeast is the glorification of money. And since these videos are primarily targeted at younger people, what damage is this doing to children's perception of money? I don't think MrBeast was the first person to glorify money to children. Before MrBeast, there were massive YouTubers who were buying mansions bigger than hotels and bragging about it, throwing cash at people in order to show how much money they're making. The issue was there before MrBeast. It was slightly different before MrBeast because the treatment of money was very different. YouTubers used to waste insane amounts of money in order to buy bigger mansions than each other. Now MrBeast uses the money to attract attention to his videos. The bigger the money giveaway, the more shocking the video content. The more shocking the video content, the more views. I think the way money is treated on YouTube now is far healthier than the way people treated money on YouTube before MrBeast. I know there are some bad actors that pretend they just love to give away money because they want to do it, but in fact they just want to get more views. You'll always have people abusing the system. The fact that Jimmy gives away money to people and instead doesn't buy expensive things for himself is a good message to send to people. Does he make these children think and obsess over money more than if there was no MrBeast? Yeah, probably. but I think people are just generally obsessed with money anyways, even without YouTube or social media. MrBeast tries to be sustainable too for the environment, by planting trees when they fly private jet, and Team Trees and Team Seas, which are good messages. And this is better than when people used to never talk about the impact these videos would have on the environment. I'm sure MrBeast does stuff wrong. I'm not trying to say he's perfect or anything. I just want to acknowledge that because things change, it doesn't automatically mean that things are worse than before. I don't know the guy at all, and I don't watch any of his videos, but he genuinely seems like he enjoys growing his YouTube channel, and he wants to make it as sustainable as possible, and he just uses money to create enjoyable experiences for himself and others. Because ultimately, money is just a means to do things that you like, and not a way to show other people how much better than them you think you are.